live. Here we go.
Oh, we're going live. Yay! Welcome. We're live.
So, hello everybody and welcome to Tuesday Live. It's Tiffany from Totally Tiffany and
Susan with Kiwi Lane Designs. How is everyone? Yay!
We're just going to take a few minutes and let everybody start to pop on. We kind of hit the go live button and we're like, okay, let's just go. We're not really sure everything's working. So this is your opportunity to let us know if you can hear us and see us. We got a little split screen. You see, Susan, where are you?
North Carolina, Charlotte area.
North Carolina. So all the way across the country.
So you're Pacific.
Here we are.
I'm Eastern. Yeah.
As far as we can be from each other, pretty much. All right. Susie says she can hear everybody. Katie says she can hear us and see us.
Hello.
All right.
Hello. It's a good way to start a Tuesday, I think.
Yes. Okay. So what is happening today? This is the first time we've ever done this sort of simulcast thing or duo broadcast. So today we're going to talk about paper storage and organization, and specifically like how to organize not only your paper, but also some of your other Kiwi Lane stuff. And as you know, we've been partnered with Kiwi Lane for a long time. We did the first original organization box with them years ago. So this is something that's new, kind of a new take on how to organize your paper and your scraps and your supplies.
I mean, who doesn't have paper stash? One. And then, of course, who doesn't like to be organized? So it's a good, I've really, over the years, just in my own scrapbook experience with the mix and match pattern guide, which we've been sharing, and we'll put that link in this guide here. It's kind of like this formula, how we've taken, our single sheets of paper that we've evolved over time. Because I feel like, I don't know, Tiffany, if you could attest to this, but initially when I started scrapping, I was buying like single sheets, right? Oh, that one's cute. That one's cute. That one's cute. And then collections started to come out and things like that. But then we're left with this huge paper stash of random pattern papers. And so this formula that I was sharing earlier goes over how to take your pattern papers and merge them into what we call paper kits. But definitely, I think with your products, it takes it to a whole new level of organization. I used to share this where I just stick all this stuff in a random bag, right? But then I was doing some stuff with all these lovely organizations that we're going to be sharing with, and boy, it's so satisfying. I feel so organized when I'm not a natural organized paper. So thankfully, we have Tiffany in our life to help us with that.
Well, it just feels so good. And one of the things about being organized is that you're more motivated to actually craft, because when you look at your space, you're going to be able to find things and they're easily accessible and you can tidy it up more easily. All of this, once you're organized, it's just more fun to craft when you can find your stuff, when you're not dealing with that frustration, that overwhelm with where is that? Where did I put it?
And that's pretty much how I feel about when it comes to organizing your pattern papers too, right? Like you can actually pull out one of these paper packs, which is this 5-page formula that we have here. And if it's organized already, then when you sit down to scrapbook, you actually can finish a layout. You're not scrambling for your products and your things like you were talking about.
Uh-oh, we got a problem.
Connection lost, reconnecting. Okay.
All right. Susan, no, I think we're all right. No fix. All right, Katie, you're going to have to let us know. A little glitchy.
Back and forth.
A little glitchy.
You're back.
All right.
Yep.
So I guess, do you want me to talk about the collection keeper first? And then, so the mix and match, the handout that's available, you can just download this handout. And it answers a ton of questions about matching those papers up and keeping them together, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things we talk about all the time is keeping things together you use together. And this is a great way to kit those papers together. Kind of talks even in the handout about the mood you're setting and what kind of feel you want to create. And so almost kitting together the things for that layout or that card or whatever it is that you're making. Everything is together in one place, and you've got all those matching things together. So keeping things together, used together. Okay, Susie has a question.
Okay.
Someone wants to know, she says, I've been a member of Kiwi Club since it started. Don't ask how many I've completed. What is the best way to store the kits that aren't completed?
We're going to go over that. We're going to go over that. We're going to.
You want me to show my kits, or do you want to show? Well, first, let's talk about the collection keeper and how what that looks like. So
Yes.
there is a link that we can share with you. So Kiwi Lane, the collection keeper, the scrap master, and the paper handler are all available today at kiwilane.com, and we'll put a link in the feed. So if you want to shop for these organization products,
specific to this event, yeah. So let's put that in there. We're going to feature those 3 products that you just talked about, and we're doing organize. Like the more you organize, the more you save. So we're doing an additional savings on these products. So we want to help you guys get organized. And more importantly, we also want to help you use that paper stash in a way that helps you create beautiful pages. So yes. So all definitely we will share this link throughout this event. So make sure to take advantage of that. And like I said, the more you organize, the more you save. And we'll go through that. So
I love it. Stock up and save, ladies. You always need more organization. Okay, so I'm going to start. Let me start by talking about the collection keeper. And Susie, can you put Susan in the little screen there? There she goes. And then can you click to our overhead and I'll talk about this. There we go. So this is the collection keeper. It comes in packs of 3. Has a little tab on the side. It's going to work with our 12 by 12 paper handler. And what you've got is 3 pockets. So this bottom pocket is 12 by 6. This pocket is 7 1/4 by 6 1/2, 4 1/2 by 6.5. So that's on the front side. And then on the back side, you've got one big 12 by 12 pocket so that you're going to be able to hold up to 10 sheets of paper or cardstock. Now, I do have one caveat. Keep in mind that all paper and cardstock is not the same thickness. So you may get more than 10 or less than 10, but you're going to average about 10 sheets on that back pocket. Now, the collection keepers are going to come in packs of 3. All the flaps have this little locking tab that you can tuck that in to hold that pocket flap closed. And then, of course, there's the little label thing on the side. So they do fit in the 12 by 12 paper handler. So Susan, do you want to show yours loaded or do you want me to show mine loaded?
Either, go ahead and show yours loaded. And then if we have the down view of mine, I can show it or hold it up. I don't know. We'll see where the camera goes after that. But yeah, Let's take a peek.
All right. So you can see the pockets fit all the accessories that come in your Kiwi Lane kits perfectly, right? So and I just put my
designer templates.
Sorry, I forget. I don't have the overhead going too. I've got my templates here in this other little pocket. So even if you've got small templates, you want to put them into another pocket, that's going to be fine. You've got all the different accessory cards. They fit perfectly in both of the 2 pockets. And this is a full kit. This is everything that came in this kit. And then, of course, I've got, now you don't have to put your templates in another pocket. I just have extra pockets because my life is full. I kept this, right? You want to keep this. If you're a regular TT follower, I always say if you can save the packaging, save it. It gives you lots of tips. It gives you some ideas about how to use the products. And then you can see I've got all the paper for that kit right here. So the collection keeper is a great way to keep things together you use together. And this is a full kit. But as Susan was saying, you might be, do you want to switch back to overhead, Susan? You might be creating your own kits or pulling your own, right? Using that mix and match paper guide, pulling your own papers together to create, again, that mood, that style, that feeling that you're after for the project that you are working on. And you're going to love the collection keeper for that as well. I'm going to let Susan, if her overhead is working, show some collection keepers. And then we'll go back and I'll put them in my paper handler. We'll talk about Scrap Master. Show us what you've got, Susan.
Do you have a down view? Will it show on here? What does that look
yes, you can click. Do you see it, Susie, over on the left side?
That'll take it to yours.
No, on the left side.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Click this one.
Click that one. See what happens. You have to click the little dot in the upper right. There you go. Click that dot. No, move it over. Just
Sorry.
maybe use the mouse.
It's okay. Technology. We'll get there.
Yeah. This is our first.
There we go.
Okay, now you have to put it on. Why is it not pulling that? Close, turn mine off. Turn mine off. No, same dot that you turned on for Susan.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Woo! We figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it out. I'm over here. Susie's figuring it out.
Just my mega turd. Oh, but now I don't think they ever.
Oh, we don't have sound. Maybe turn her sound back on and turn me off. Turn her back on and turn me off. No, not there, not there. Turn me off.
Overhead, but I have sound from the front. Can we hear me now? I hope we can hear me. Because I can't hear you now, Tiffany, because you turned your sound off. So I don't know if we could hear. So you guys let me know in the chat if all is well. I know you can see my thing, hopefully now, right? So can we hear? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Perfect. Okay. So with this collection keeper, I will just add that if you are the Kiwi Club member, because I know a few of you guys were asking, the Kiwi Clubs actually fit beautifully into the Kiwi Club or the collection keeper here. And then we also have the Scrap Master, which we're going to go over here in a moment. And I'm going to share how I would use the Scrap Master for your Kiwi Club kits, which I think works a little even better. And we'll go over that here in a moment. But it does fit beautifully. And I also actually always love to add little extra elements, because what we want to do is we want to pull from our embellishment stash too, start utilizing those as best as we can. So when you segment some of that stuff out into these lovely organized pockets, again, it's kind of like an easy go, grab and go. I like to put a few of these together with photos. And this is where we really talk about, outside of the Kiwi Club, we really talk about using your paper stash, which is where this free guide really comes into play. We talk about main patterns, and we'd explain what we mean by main patterns, supporting patterns, and then your background sheets, and how you can really build a beautiful layer so beautifully with your pattern paper, and let your pattern paper do a lot of the heavy lifting for you when you're scrapbooking. It doesn't matter what style of page that you're doing, whether it's Kiwi style or a lovely, beautiful scrapbooking page, whatever it is, we want to celebrate those finished pages with you. But we also want to celebrate using that paper stash, because both are super fulfilling to do. I can attest, because I've definitely gone through utilizing my paper stash, and it's a great feeling. So going back to this collection keeper, what I love to do is kind of, like I said, take this, which is where I used to put all my pictures and my photos together, organize them into these pockets, add in little extra things from your stash of embellishments that coordinate with that theme. I even go down to putting my pictures in one of these pockets. So basically how I would describe this is I'm going from a paper kit that I put together using that free guide into what I consider a layout kit. And I put together a good 5 or 10 of these. So like Tiffany mentioned, the collection keepers come with 3 in a pack. I would get a few of those. Then what I would do is segment your creativity through your analytical. So what's great about that is when you have sessions where you're getting organized and you're using your analytical brain to help you organize these layout kits into these collection keeper packs here. Then when you're ready to be creative and actually sit down to scrapbook, you literally can pull one of these out. Your pictures are there, your coordinated paper, which I'll go ahead and open this up, because this is one of the packs that I pulled together out of my stash. And I had to pull it randomly because I had bought this single sheet from Color Play, because, you know, my son loves to play, with his video games and things like that. So I saw this paper, I thought of my son, I bought it randomly thinking I had a plan for it, but you can't really just use one sheet of paper scrapbooking. So with that, I have that main pattern and that supporting pattern. Again, this free guide that we're sharing is going to go more in depth than this. But along with that, inside of this pack that I put together, I put in here 2 background sheets. And I also pulled this from my paper stash. So all of this is pulled from our paper stash, along with an extra sheet that we also explain in the free guide. Okay, so now with that, on the back, we have some great patterns, but I like to have some blenders. And blenders are kind of patterns that help settle down your main patterns. And so we highly recommend having these in. Now, I went through my leftover papers, is what I call them, when you kind of cut out of them, right? They're not full true 12 by 12s. And I put those in the stash too, because this orange I was able to pull from my stash, from another random sheet of paper that I had, and it luckily coordinated well. So all of this goes for me. And the reason why I pulled these in extra is because, like I said, these backgrounds unfortunately are just not, they're busy. And so I know from experience that having those blenders in that we talk about in this free mix and match paper guide really helps pull your patterns together in a blissfully simple way to help it also spotlight your pictures, but not overwhelm your pictures. So I really enjoy that. So now, of course, what I was going to get to is I have this paper kit that I've handpicked from my paper stash. I coordinated it, and I'm going to stick it here in this collector keeper pocket here. Like Tiffany said, it's 12 by 12 here on the back, so it's perfect for adding those sheets of paper. Again, you already went through the decision making. So next time I sit down to go to the scrapbook, I have my pictures, my paper, and a few elements to get started, because getting started is usually the hardest part. We don't want to sit there spinning our wheels, or literally, this is what it looks like, right, ladies? Where you just have a huge pile of paper, and then before you know it, you're just overwhelmed, or you're like, where do I get started? I put together a good 10 of these at a time. You don't need to go through all your paper stash at once. Start with a few, put together a few packs together out of your paper stash. Again, following this paper guide. These notes are all here. We're here to support you in the Kiwi Lane community. If you have questions, feel free to. We also have a great YouTube channel dedicated just to picking paper, because we know how popular this topic is. We've had so many people ask us over and over again, how are you picking your pattern papers? How are you doing it? Well, we tell it all. We tell it all in this guide. Now, what I also love about this, and we're going to go over the paper handler here in a moment and all these other great items that Tiffany has for us to help us to stay organized, thankfully. When you go to a crop, I literally grab, right, my paper handler that I put together, a good solid, like I said, 10 or so at a time, and you just grab these and go. It's so great. And then I pull one out and I pull out the elements. I only have the few things like showing on my table, and I can just jump right into designing my page. Of course, I like to design with the designer templates for that visual aid. If you're not familiar with Kiwi Lane, we have these great designer templates that help you to design first. So similar, when you sit down to scrapbook, you don't want to stare at an empty page. So you want to get started. Again, we want to help you kind of speed up that getting started so that you really can just enjoy all the benefits from creating a beautiful page with your life memories. And we know how lovely this hobby is and how much it benefits us. But part of that is also finding the time to scrapbook. And so the best, as much as you can do to help preempt the most productivity out of your time, I think the better off that will help be to actually fill your albums with some finished pages. So along with this, I will just add this since I'm here. And then Tiffany, you can feel free to jump back in. But this sampler set is just an offering we have of these designer templates. If you have not tried Kiwi Lane yet, over on this link that we've been sharing with the organizing items, down at the bottom is this offer. This is normally $29, but with this event today that we're having with Totally Tiffany, I'm offering it for $10 for you to give it a try. Give the Play to Create system a try. This with your paper stash, I promise you will be finishing so many pages so often, and you'll see your paper stash decrease and your finished albums increase. And so it's really a great combination, the designer templates and the paper kits hand in hand. And then of course with Totally Tiffany's organization items, it just simplifies it so much.
Susan, it's really interesting because that is one of the biggest things people have this challenge with. Where do I get started? Mm-hmm. Not just with your scrapbooking pages, but with organization in general. And how do I move forward? How do I prevent being overwhelmed? So using that collection keeper for a couple of reasons, which we just saw. One is organizing. This is the whole kit. Everything, I'm keeping these things together that I'm going to use together. And the other thing is, okay, now I'm going to pre-plan those pages. I'm going to put my layout kit together. It works. The collection keeper works great for that. There's several comments popping up, regular TT followers saying things like, hey, Yes, I always keep extra scrap masters. I always keep extra collection keepers because when I'm ready to do that, I want to have those things available. So especially since you're doing a stock up and save event with your with the products today, this is a great time, whether you're new to Totally Tiffany or new to Kiwi Lane, or you have some stuff, but you want to keep organized. This is a great time to stock up and save on that. So we mentioned briefly about the paper handler.
Yes.
This is the paper handler. It is a 12 by 12, and you can see the collection keepers fit perfectly in there.
Perfectly.
Little tabs stick over the top, so if you want to add labels, you can. It's got pull-up handles, so you can carry your 12 by 12 paper easily. So one of the unique things about the Totally Tiffany brand is that we design products around how we actually craft. So a lot of us have craft rooms, but just because you have a craft room doesn't mean you're not moving your supplies around. You might be traveling with your supplies. So whether you're going across the country or across your room, having those handles and making it easy to pull off the shelf makes it really, really simple. And I really encourage people, take your paper box off, have those collections together and easy to access. You can also sit this on the floor right next to you if you're at a crop. You don't necessarily have to have it at the table. It keeps everything vertical, right, Susan? It's easy to pull out, easy to get to. So the paper, and I know those of you who haven't seen this before, yes, it does fit in your IKEA Kallax or Expedit shelving. It was designed around that.
I have one right behind me, and I loved that when I was, how you share, you can do it on its side, right? You can stick it in the cubby on its side. You can have it upright. And then, of course, you can pull these in or out. Depending on that. So I really loved how it fit perfectly into the IKEA cubby. Perfectly.
Yeah,
This was like,
we know how popular those are. So whenever we can, we try to design stuff that's going to fit that way. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to introduce you to the Scrap Master. And then, once you go to our overhead, and you want to go to single screen there, you might have to turn Susan off, though. We're just learning how to use all this fancy technology today. So this is a Scrap Master. This is one of mine that I've been using for years. You can see it has this at the top. So you've got this big pocket on the front, nice flat pocket. On the inside, you have 3 gusseted pockets. Now, these pockets have 2 little notches, right? And that's because if the pocket is gusseted all the way out, you're going to be able to use that bottom notch to secure it, or the top notch to secure it. But if it's pretty flat, use the bottom notch. But you've got 3 pockets. They gusset out to almost an inch on the side when they're loaded. But you can see this is all scraps. So all green scraps. So as Susan was showing you and pulling out things that she had stashed in her collection that she was going to work on, this is that same kind of idea, but now she might be like, oh, I want this pattern paper, and look, that paper is going to work great as a base. This one is also, maybe I want a little sparkle when I'm putting this together, but you can see all the scraps that you have, that they go together, and then you can take that beautiful base pattern paper that you want to work with and start to build those kits out. In the meantime, just for scrap organization, you have this other big pocket on the back. This is the perfect way to keep all of those colored scraps organized. You always know where they are. You always know how to get to them. So the Scrap Master is perfect for scraps, but I also want to show you a couple of other uses for it. So this is a big fat kit, right? It came with a ton of stuff. All these papers in the middle. So you can really see the embellishments, and Susan was talking about that, pulling your embellishments, pulling all the other bits and pieces for a certain kit together. And that is where you are going to really love this Scrap Master, because it really holds lots of bulky different things. But as you can see, it's very visual, very accessible. Everything locks down. This is all the paper that came with this kit. So I'm going to use the Scrap Master, more stickers, as a file folder. And now I've got the paper, the stickers, the embellishments, everything together in one place. You want to go back to the regular camera, Susie? And this also fits in your paper handler. So if you're looking for a way to get all of those big kits, big embellishments, all of those things organized, the paper handler, the scrap master, and the collection keeper are all going to work really, really well together. You can also stand these up in between paper handlers as well. So if you want to put a label on this and stand it up between a couple of paper handlers in your IKEA Calyx, you're then going to be able to use kind of maximize that space, right? So now I can just pull this out. It's going to stand up by itself and grab that whole folder of supplies. So Susan, I know you really like the Scrap Master. I'm going to switch over to you and you can talk a little bit about what you like about it.
Yeah.
And how it works with your stash.
Well, if you want to go to the down view, I'll start there. I was actually just pulling out the paper handler for a moment, I guess, before you jump to the down view. But yes, I have, like you said, the collection keepers in here and a few Scrap Masters, and they fit perfectly in the holder here. And I love how you also have, where's those instructions? Because I think it's key on that paper handler. These instructions are right on the back of the insert. So just flip that insert right over and just read them slowly. It's not like rocket science or anything. It's pretty simple. But if you just follow the steps, it's pretty fast. I think sometimes we try to engineer it ourselves. Just follow the steps. It'll be easy to put it together. Okay, so here's the Scrap Master as Tiffany was sharing. So this is the this month's Kiwi Club kit. It's called Anchored in Freedom. And I did already finish a page. Where did I put that page? Oh, there it is. I finished one page with this Kiwi Club kit so far, right? And so this is the page that I just recently created. It's in the Digital Idea book, which comes with every Kiwi Club kit. But with the Kiwi Club kit, we do have the Premier that comes with paper, and then we have the standard one, well, paper and templates, and then the standard one's just templates. But we already do a lot of that heavy lifting. So all of this formula that we share to help you use your paper stash, we apply that to our Kiwi Club paper kits. And so each paper kit is designed to create at least 3 2-page layouts, so 6 pages total. And with the membership, of course, like I said, you get those lovely, inspiring designer templates at your fingertips, literally in your fingertips. You have that inspiration as you play to create. But then you get the Digital Idea book and then exclusive events that we offer all within that one price membership. But I wanted to share with the Scrap Master is, you know, as you were sharing, you have the back here, that's a 12 by 12. Then you have this inside tab, and then you do have this extra tab here or additional tab. And since I've already went ahead and scrapbooked one of my pages, I have some leftover scraps that I put here in the front. But if you are a Kiwi Club member, what I'm really loving about these Scrap Masters is just like we go over in the Picture Perfect event as club members, and we talk about the paper and what to scrapbook with it, and we really brainstorm on that so that you can utilize those kits, right? And we have these events over in our circle community. And so with that, all of our club or paper kits already come with background sheets. So what I like to do is I like to separate that main pattern within the Kiwi Club kit, and then coordinate that with my background sheets and then stick each one separate. So instead of just kind of randomly sticking them in there, I'm actually taking and sorting those out, this one collection, right? Which is often true about other paper collections too. Like we might get, now granted, Kiwi Lane's paper comes with background sheets, so you don't have to buy multiple kits. A lot of people want to buy multiple kits because they love the paper so much, but you don't have to. All of those pieces, the blenders, everything to help tone down and make those pattern papers work beautifully for you are already thought out in our paper kits. So I like to sort those out. I put one back here with the background sheets. I put another one here, and we're going to go over this more. If you're a club member and watching, we're going to go over this more in this month's Picture Perfect event. I'm going to showcase this even more and go in more depth of how great these Scrap Masters are, because you can see how beautifully organized it is. Like I said, I randomly do this sometimes, but boy, is my soul so happy seeing it all nicely displayed in here. I feel so relaxed, and because it's not crazy, it's organized. And then I, of course, already put down my pictures together. that I'm going to finish with my next 2 pages. Any extra random things that I might have in my stash. I bought these, I don't even know who, a long time ago. I may use them, I may not, but I do have some random 4th of July elements as well that could go great with some pictures that I have planned for this kit. And so I stuck all of those things from my stash, my embellishment stash, in here as well, so that I can start moving through those that we have in our scrapwork room or craft room, like Tiffany was talking about. We want to move through those. And so I love the Scrap Master, specifically in that reason too. I also love how the Scrap Master, and I think Tiffany, you talk about this often, just perfect for themes, right? Gathering all your holiday, like Christmas elements together. So I did that here on this one. I had so many random Christmas papers that I had not quite used yet. Again, I'm sticking some pictures in here because I love adding my pictures and having a good 10 or so of these already together. Because when I sit down to scrapbook, I just go to that, like, well, I have this thing on my wall that I keep them. But now, of course, with the paper handler, I just love that even more because I can just carry that straight into the living room. I can carry that straight to a crop wherever I'm going. So that's really great. So I just love them by themes too. So that's another way you can utilize the Scrap Master in that way. But if you are looking for the Kiwi Club elements, grab a few of these while they're on sale, because when we go through the Picture Perfect event here on Friday, we're going to really dive into that more. And like I said, it just makes your soul so happy to see it so organized. I feel, like I'm an organized person, but I think, Tiffany, you need to come help me do my whole house. It's a little bit.
I would love to. That would be so fun. As you know, I love that anyway. But a couple other things.
Several people asking Susan how to join the Kiwi Club.
Oh, so Susan, there's a lot of people asking about how to join the Kiwi Club. Do they just do that on your website? You want
to KiwiLane.com. There's a tab at the top. It says Kiwi Club that can teach you all about it. If you're not a club member yet and you want to have those amazing products in your hands, and like I said, it's a membership that includes the inspiring products, but we really want to help you to utilize that from ideas to events. It's all packaged in that one price. No additional prices for these. It's just all there because our goal is to help you to complete some beautiful pages.
Yeah, and if you've never played with Kiwi Lane, you make beautiful things very quickly. It's fun. It's easy. You feel like you're actually being productive rather than having to spend 10 hours on a page. You can actually get more pages done in less time, and they're just beautiful. The layering is beautiful. I don't know. I have probably 1,000 Kiwi Lane templates, right? I mean, they're so easy to work with, whether you're doing a card or a layout or you're making placemats for a birthday party, it doesn't matter. There's so many uses for them, and they're beautiful and they're simple. And Susan does make it really easy with those pattern papers. I did want to mention when you were talking about a couple of things. So putting your supplies into your Scrap Master, into your collection keeper, not only does it keep them organized, but it also keeps them protected, right? So Susan showed that one big plastic bag with everything in there kind of bouncing around and banging into each other. Right. So digging it out. So they're more protected in those. But if you need additional things, Susan said, I have this 4th of July thing, and you're working on 4th of July, which just happened. You can take that 4th of July kit with you if you need to buy additional embellishments or sequins or buttons or whatever you want, and you want to match those papers perfectly. It's easy to grab that collection keeper or Scrap Master and take it with you shopping, or even bring it to your computer for shopping online. So when you're adding other elements to your collection, that way you can travel with it and it's protected, and you can match things up really well also. So there's beyond just basic organization and being able to get more done and having your supplies at hand, it also makes it easy to do everything else. And Susan said, I'm going to take this to the dining table, or I'm going to take this to the TV room. Yeah. It makes it easy to bring that whole kit. All you need is your scissor and your adhesives and a little bit of ink. And you can sit there and watch TV with your husband or your significant other or the dog or whoever you enjoy TV with.
Whoever you want. I do it all the time.
And actually do things. And especially we're right at that time of year where we're going to start working on Christmas cards. And most of us make 100 Christmas cards that are all the same. So it's easy to bring what you've created in that kit to wherever you're going to work on it, your friend's house, the TV room, your craft table, all together in one nice, neat little bin. So I think there's a lot of comments coming up on the feed.
Sally said, are there photos of previous kits to see what is included? On that page, if you go to kiwilane.com and click on Kiwi Club, down in the middle of that page, there are some previous pages. But basically, it comes with 12 double-sided sheets of paper, title cards, designer templates, exclusive every month. And then, of course, the digital idea book, the events, all coordinated with individual kits. I saw that one question. What other questions are you seeing?
Well, there's a question about using the Scrapmaster to organize your stencils or templates. And it would absolutely work well for that. I don't know if you've seen me. So I use, as you saw in mine, we have pockets in every size. Maybe we'll get some of those, Susan, at Kiwi Lane. So they have pockets that fit. Her products are there available. But you can also create your own pockets with paper. I'm trying to think if I have.
I'm trying to get this in view here because as far as the templates go, I think that's a really good idea if that works for you. I know we have these other pockets, right, for the template.
Yeah, right.
And these are also over on our page that we created specific for this event. And again, organize more, save more. So take advantage of those. But we're also doing a special that when you buy one of these storage cards for just templates, if you have, want to stock up on a few more, haven't invested in them yet. They're really great. They slide in perfectly. Tiffany and I work together to make sure they're the right sizes for the different types of sets. And I like to keep mine here. Let me see if I can move this over for a moment. So currently, like what I do is I just keep them right here in this basket, right on a little, cart, rolling cart. So you were talking about going to your living room, for example. I roll that right in. I grab my paper pack or whatever that I'm working on. It allows me not to fall asleep during a movie because I do want to be with my family. I want to be in the same room with them. We're always going different ways. So when we're wanting to watch a movie, I'm like, okay, I want to be there with you guys. But let's just face it, if I hold still too long on a couch, I'll be out. So keeping my hands busy is also really great because I can be present, be with them, but also productive and maybe finish a few and also awake. So that's good. But I do love these storage pockets. So these are also over there that are great for the templates. But I know you were just mentioning like the Scrapmaster for templates and things like that. That can be really handy too, if that works.
Just depending on how you're going to move around with stuff. The pockets were designed to fit all that Kiwi Lane. And I think there's a box that they fit in, but I think keeping them, if you're using a cart in a basket or something where you can just put a label tab on them, easy file. And I'm always all about how easy access is it. If everything is just right there on top of your cart, the things that we have access to are the things that we use the most. So it makes it really handy to do all of those things.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually utilize it here and I take these. So we're talking about evolution of paper, right? So one of my biggest things, and we have a great YouTube video on just the evolution of paper. So I initially talked about how, and maybe some of you guys can relate, you guys let us know in the comments, but went from like this random sheet of paper buying. We're like, ooh, eye candy. I love this pattern, but what are you going to use with that pattern, right? So this is where we're taking that phase of scrapbooking and we're mentioning, hey, we were at that phase too. What we did is we went through our paper stash and we started to merge them into collections, paper kits of their own, but with layouts in mind. And I will say now, when I buy paper, I definitely do not buy single sheets anymore. If I can't find a pack that goes together following the 5-page formula that we share in this free guide, like I just won't get it because I like to make sure that I can go home, slide that straight in, and all of that work is already done one time. Of course, collections came out, but then usually when you get done scrapbooking a page, what happens is you get called leftovers, right? You have these like sheets that you've cut into and different things that you have. And sometimes those can translate, like I have one right here, right? the scraps of leftover, that can translate, and you can combine that with another 12 by 12 piece of paper and make a one pager or something. So you can really, extend your paper to full use. But if I have little pieces left, I like to cut them down. And now I've almost created little card packs. And I love even using these storage cards for things like that. So I have scraps organized in that manner too, because each one of these pockets, it's already again coordinated where I can take one and quickly make a card using those leftover papers.
Or any kind of project. You know, y'all have to remember, like cards, home decor, decoupage, any of those things. When you've got your stuff organized and kind of already kitted together, it makes it easy to do that project. Susan, someone is also asking, do you ship to Canada?
We do not currently have it set up, but email support@kiwilane.com. They may be able to help you out, but not on the site. It's not quite set up on that site. So it's on the list, the long list. I'm sure you can relate, Tiffany.
Yes, the never-ending list of things we'd love to do. So I just really quickly, before we sign off, I want to talk about each of the products again, so you have a clear understanding of what each of them are. So the first thing you're going to need are a few paper handlers, and this is going to help you sort, store, and organize all of your 12 by 12 paper. All of these items are on special. Remember, Susan's got the link up. She's got a special page on her website. Then we've got the Scrap Master. And the Scrap Master is going to help you organize kits, projects, and also just paper, getting that organized by color, by theme, by sentiment. Whichever it is, you're going to have all those things together in one big file, scraps included. So that is the Scrap Master. Now, Scrap Masters come in packs of 5. So you're getting 5 Scrap Masters. And then last but not least, we have the Collection Keeper, which again is perfect for your full Kiwi Lane collection. So when you get a new collection and you're looking for a place to store and protect it, label it, get it integrated with the rest of your supplies, the Collection Keeper is a perfect option for that. It's got the 3 pockets on the front, the 1 big pocket on the back, and you can put everything together in there. And then you can also use them. You're going to want, I think someone already mentioned up here, I have multiples of these. I always buy extra when they're on sale because this is how I keep myself organized. So now is the time, especially with the Stock Up and Save event that we have going on at kiwilane.com, for you to get the Scrap Masters. There's 5 per pack. The Collection Keepers, there's 3 per pack. And then, of course, the paper handlers, which just one more reminder, they do fit into your IKEA Kallax or Expedit system if you're trying to organize all your stuff. Oh, we got a question going by.
Yeah, I saw a few too.
Does the Collection Keeper fit in the paper taker? I think it does, but before I... So this is the paper taker. If you've got this and you're thinking of adding Collection Keepers to it, I'm not tall enough to see. Oh, you know what? It has the little tab on it. So it's better if you put it in sideways so the tab sticks up at the top. So if you're putting it into your paper taker, absolutely, it does fit in there. Just put it in sideways so that the tab sticks up the top, and then it's easy to pull in and out as well. But yes, it does fit the paper taker.
Boy, the paper handler already sold out, Tiffany. So we'll have to get those back in stock. So yay, but they are great, guys. They are really great for grab and goes. Hey, and then Tiffany, they were asking how to store the larger ones, which I use this larger, I don't know what this is called.
12 by 12 tab divider pocket. And we will get some of those on Susan's website on Kiwi Lane.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think we talked about that one, but I do use it. I remember purchasing them a while back and I was like, that's what I use for the larger.
Big ones. So this is the A4 8.5 by 11 tab divider pocket. And this, and we'll get these to you all there on kiwilane.com. This is the 4 by 6. So we do have these in a variety of sizes that work really, really well for the Kiwi Lane supply. So we'll get with Susan and make sure you guys have all the little goodies.
That item.
All the little goodies that you need.
What size will be great for large stencils? Yeah, Tina. So hopefully that helps answer that question. Yep. Perfect.
Well, and the nice thing too about adding the pockets is that you can put other things in there as well. So if you have certain things you want to segment off or whatever, so they're a great accessory. They come in a variety of sizes, and we will make sure that you get what you need over there at kiwilane.com.
You know, and it's so interesting when it comes to organizing, because I think it really is finding what works for you. You know, it's like all these variations, but it's so interesting when you really dive into organizing how our brain all works different, right? Some people might go alphabetical and some people might not. So it just varies what's for you. I know for me with my designer templates, I personally, this is for my layout kits, what I consider, but I keep all my templates together. And then I use the Kiwi Lane app. And we have a great search engine. It's search engine on that.
Nice.
It's free. You can go download it. It's called DT Checklist, the Kiwi Lane app. And you could search in there and then find it. And I like to keep my templates together because when I'm looking for templates, I like to go there. But when I'm looking for like my paper and layout kits, I like to be like, oh, I'm going to work on this layout. I'm going to get started. Now what templates do I want to pull in to help me to design more effectively and simply?
Well, and that's also interesting too, just with products. Like people ask me all the time, why do you make the 12 by 12 paper taker and the 12 by 12 paper handler and the 12 by 12 fab file? They all do the same job. But much like organizing your supplies, people have different rooms, different spaces. They travel around differently. They need dust protection. They don't. They, you know, all the different things. So there is something, yeah, there's different ways, but everything can work together really, really nicely. So
if this resonated with you in your mind, these options and suggestions that we provided today probably is a good sign. If your mind starts doing like, ooh, I can see myself, you know, really organizing my things that way, that's always a benefit for sure.
Yes. All right, Susan, what else do we need to tell people? If you've never experienced Kiwi Lane, go watch a couple of videos. I promise you, you will be mesmerized by the system, how much fun it is, how easy it is, and how beautiful the layouts, the cards, all the things that you can make with Kiwi Lane are. And it's simple, but
it's blissfully simple is what we call it. It feels blissfully simple. You know, a lot of people will say like, oh, it's old school. I'll throw it out there. But this is why you have to give it a try before you knock it, ladies, because I've scrapbooked for 2 decades now, right? Over a little 2 decades. And I will say that when we came up with this process that we call the Play to Create system, which by the way was my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and myself, we were just scrapbookers. We were actually what happened. I'll share it really quickly, Tiffany, not to keep everybody so long, but and I loved hearing your story about how you started, Tiffany, where you went to that party and everything. But anyways, so we always scrapbook. That's something we connected on. But back in 2009, it was pretty chaotic. Like we were all moving different places. You know, it's when the economy, of course, was crazy, right? And I had just moved. Debbie had just moved. Shiloh just moved. Like we were trying to, like our husbands were in new jobs. But Debbie, my mother-in-law, I had moved to Arizona at the time, and she had said, well, like, hey, I'm going to come visit you. And I probably did not scrapbook for a good 2 years, year and a half, right? We go through those phases in life. But I had not scrapbooked for at least a good time where I felt depleted. Like I didn't know, you know, your creativity just feels depleted. And so she ended up saying, hey, and then let's scrapbook. Like, let's pull out our stuff and scrapbook. And so I was like, okay. And so I had planned with my husband, my kids were young at this time, I think he took them to the park or to McDonald's or something, if I remember correctly. But he said, I'm going to take them for like 4 hours to get them out of your hair. Like, we'll leave. And what ended up happening is me and my mother-in-law sat at my dining room table. We were so excited to scrapbook. And we just sat there and stared at an empty page. Like we had, like you said, like, no, we didn't know where to get started. We just were we didn't feel creative. We didn't feel inspired. There was nothing really engaging us. And so what I ended up doing was leaving my guest, and I went to my computer, which was out in this other room at the time. And before I knew it, like an hour and a half of scrolling went by. Like time just like flew by. And what I found was a lot of pages with one picture, but heavy embellishments and things like that. I mean, I was debating at the time, like, I don't know if I can continue scrapbooking. Like, I don't know if I can afford all these expensive embellishments. I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't have the time. I have too many young kids. but I really had the desire to do it and I enjoyed it. So finally I went back to my mother-in-law who had gone nowhere. She was still staring at an empty page, did nothing with her stuff. And then that's kind of where we were like, well, what if we did something like this? And that's, you'll see in a border shape. And this is an interesting thing. This was a life lesson for me. I did that with my mother-in-law and she was like, she was frustrated with me. She was like, because she was like, I can't see it. I can't see what you're telling me. Right. And if you know my mother-in-law, she is a very visual person. Like she needs that visual aid. And so it just evolved from there. But in general, as scrapbookers, what we found, we of course just started to evolve this process. And we're like, well, what if we had designing tools to help us to create our pages, to help us to visualize, engage the tactile play, that we're humans, we're visual people. We need that tactile play, that inspiration. Often we say we're not creative. All of us need that to engage our creativity. And so I was a victim of saying that too, that I'm not creative, but this process really helped me unlock my creativity in that regards. And so it just evolved from there. But yes, we have this great sampler set. Like I said, it's $10 with a $75 order. If you haven't tried it, this is my invitation to give it a try and see for yourself.
Yeah, it is really a fun. You need to watch a couple of videos. I mean, literally, if you go to a trade show and Susan's there doing a demo, her booth is just crowded with people watching because it's amazing the results you get. And the beautiful thing about Kiwi Lane is you can use it as a foundation, those templates, those designs, or you can use it as a complete thing or as a foundation. So if you want to add flowers and bling and buttons, you can do that too. But you've got this beautiful page. And if you want to zhuzh it up, you can, but it's gorgeous as it is. So yeah, I mean, it really, it's really, if you've never done it, get the starter, get the introductory pack that she's talking about today when you're ordering your organization stuff, get that and give it a try. Watch a couple of videos. You will be, I mean, it really, it's addicting. That's all. That's what I'm going to say. It's prepare yourself.
You said, yeah, it gives you that foundation to build on top of because it really does play friendly. It plays friendly in using your stash, whether it's your paper stash, your embellishments, your stamps, your other accessories that you love, your stickers. It gives you a foundation for your stickers so they don't feel like they're floating. It really plays friendly with other products.
Yeah. I mean, it really will elevate what you're doing in a simple, fast, easy form. All right. So Katie's asking me about doing a drawing. So we do give away a $25 gift certificate every week. I don't so if you want to get in on that, you have to have a comment in the feed. So you got like 10 seconds to get a comment in the feed. You want to win a gift certificate. And
we'll do one for kiwilane.com too. We'll do two. How about that?
Okay. Do you want Katie to pick the Kiwi Lane winner?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Katie's going to pick two winners. So get in that feed and then with a comment, tell us where you are. Are you new to Kiwi Lane? Are you new to Totally Tiffany? Is this your first time? Have you been around a long time?
Right.
All this stuff. Yeah. Susie's saying, oh my gosh, it's going crazy.
What do you love about scrapbooking? I love hearing people just reminiscing about scrapbooking. It's such a beautiful hobby, guys. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It really, really is. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm telling you, once you start using the designer templates, you will fall in love with this system of creating things. And it's something other people can create. Elderly people, it's easy for them to work with because you're not dealing with all those tiny little embellishments, right?
Yep.
And young kids. So this whole gamut, if you haven't done Kiwi Lane, buy $75, get the $10 deal. You're going to love it. Okay,
we often hear people say that, like, I fell back in love with scrapbooking. Like, if you need a fresh new take on it or just something, again, to give you that energy or that boost, the system in and of itself is literally inspiration at your fingertips if you allow it to be. So as far as I think someone asked here, how long the sell is. It's while supplies last. I know someone already said some items were selling out. We've been here live for a good few bit. So a few of you are already jumping over and shopping, which is great. So definitely check it out while supplies last.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys have been posting the link in the feed. So look in the feed. We'll get another little post up in the feed to that sale page on kiwilane.com. And Katie King, you got 2 winners for us. Are you ready? Okay, so if you won the Totally Tiffany prize, you need to go to prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com, prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com, and tell them you're this week's winner. They'll verify with Katie and they'll get you that certificate. Susan, how do you want people to claim the Kiwi Lane certificate?
Yeah, you'll email support@kiwilane.com. And I will let them know who the winner is once we pick this lucky winner. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. For the Totally Tiffany winner, Tammy Walker, you won $25. Totally Tiffany gift certificate. Tammy, if you can post up in the feed, are you already using Kiwi Lane, or are you new to Kiwi Lane? We'd love to know that. Or maybe you're new to Totally Tiffany. Either way, we want to know. And the Kiwi Lane winner, Darlene Turner Wilder, you are the Kiwi Lane winner. So again, throw up in that feed. Are you new? Here, there, anywhere? Have you been around forever? So I guess.
Congrats to both of you. How exciting. Not bad start to a Tuesday, right? Yeah.
That's right. So thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks for kind of watching us muddle through as we figured out the technology.
Now we know for next time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You guys were the guinea pig audience, so now we'll know the next time that we do an event together.
You've been a great audience. You guys have been great. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see the feed, but I just see it going, so hopefully we were able to answer your questions. You know, you can always email us or Kiwi Lane if we didn't get your questions answered. We're happy to do that.
Any way we can. Yeah.
That's right. So collection keepers, scrap masters, paper handlers, you need them all. Pick them up today. And it sounds like you need to get them today.
And then also on this page are the storage cards.
Oh, good. And the storage cards are also there, and you can see those in use. If you have a lot of Kiwi Lane already, you're going to want those. Yeah, perfect. All right, my friend. Susan, it was awesome to have you for Tuesday Live. That was great. I'm so glad you could join us and that your audience could join us. Love the organizing. Love Kiwi Lane. You know, I've been a Kiwi Lane girl. Well, and the Totally Tiffany people know I've been Kiwi Laning it for a long time. Probably since you started, right? Like the first place. So, all right, my friends. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday.